they're gonna talk about this now, I guess.
Dude,
And
once I
then,
started to realize that it felt like she was shitting on us directly, I started to like it even more. You know,
yeah,
I was like, oh man, she just thinks that we suck. You know, us fucking
yeah,
influencers out here.
I
And I
didn't
was like,
take it as
yes,
that. I took
dog
it
is down.
as she was shitting on all influencers, and then coming back around to the fact that they're doing it also. Like all of us are influencing to a certain degree, and we
Oh,
all get
I
sucked up
definitely
into it.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think there was self-awareness to it also. Like there was a
Hmm.
little bit of self-deprecation going on there,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but I think that speaks to me, man, because like I do something where I would absolutely make fun of myself for doing it, you know, like
Well,
please like, comment, and subscribe
the
is something
biggest
that I never wanted to say, but I do, you know.
the biggest thing in there is like when they mentioned democracy, and I didn't really mention it. It's like more like after the fact when I thought about it, like saying, "Yeah, we got to do." It's like you have to do it to like to stay relevant, you know. And it's like almost like if they're pissed off
Exactly.
that they have to be influencers,
Hmm.
but not pissed at the same time, you know, like
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
it's like it's annoying to them that they have to play by the guidelines that are set ahead of them, right? It's like the same thing
Oh,
of us, like,
exactly,
you know,
yeah.
having to kowtow to the YouTube algorithm,
And that's the
right?
way
Like
I
if we want to be
took it,
relevant,
yeah,
we have to kowtow to the YouTube
interesting.
algorithm. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be
yeah,
just everybody else that's doing that, just doing the same thing that YouTube wants us to do. But
yeah.
at the same time, we don't really have a choice or else we
So
fail.
yeah, so when they
Right.
mentioned democracy, I kind of took it as like, yeah, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like I quit my job just recently again, right? To kind of go, and I think Ryan's almost on the verge of doing the same thing, and like to do music full time and stuff. But like with that democracy of doing whatever you want or having the freedom to do what you want, you don't really in a way, because you're still like shaped and molded by like the news that comes on and what you have to go with, or you have to wait for bands to release something, like in our case, or you have to wait for the new stuff. Like it's like, so how much freedom is there actually? You know, I
Mm-hmm.
really went into deep thought on it. So that's what I love about this song, and that's why I ended up, like I'm saying right now, like ended up being my favorite. But it's definitely because it's more of a emotional attachment to it
Mm-hmm.
because of just going over it. But I kind of
Mm-hmm.
was saving the album for tomorrow with Eric, so I could feel like I'm listening to it brand new again. Because you know how it is when you react to a song, and you come back, you're like, "Fuck!" I get to relive the whole reaction again. So that's why I haven't really
Mm-hmm.
listened to it too much, and only Influencer and Unleash. So I'm excited to check it out with Eric and
Nice.
see what Eric thinks, because I'm sure Eric has some thoughts, especially on that song. And
That's really interesting.
by the way, shout out Donut Man for becoming a member. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
Hmm. I like your name too.
I hadn't thought of that though. Like, it's a really interesting analysis of the lyrics because, like, they just want to. A lot of us musicians, we just want to play music, you know, and like Band-Maid, I'm sure they just want to play music and, uh, you know, for people and have fun, but they have to also work social media and do all the business crap that comes along with it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that we generally don't want to do, but if, like you're saying, if we want to play music for people or do whatever we do, it's part of the way it works now.
Kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Kurt Cobain. You know, like to an extreme, obviously in his case, but like you know, he got famous because he wanted to play music and everybody liked his music, but he did not want to be famous. He absolutely hated the fame part of it, right? And I could totally see elements of that in the lyrics for that song, where it's like, you know, again, what you were just saying, like, I want to play music, I want to have fun, but there's automatically other responsibilities that come along with it. Not necessarily even just the business aspects, but like, almost like responsibilities, societal responsibilities. Like people expect that once you have a platform, you should be using it for good or for, you know, the benefit of other people, and if you don't, then people will call you out for it, you know, blah blah blah. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing,
Yeah.
regardless, you know, of
What
the
is
morality
good?
or ethical yeah, regardless of the ethical aspects to it though. I think that it is a forced thing upon people as fame comes, and they have to then play by the rules dictated by society in order to stay in that position. especially in an era that we're living in now where, there's quite a bit of, sensitivity to certain things
And
where it's even harder.
Going back to Band-Maid Influencer, that's why it's such an amazing song, because it provokes these questions, this conversation right now. And that's why I'm like, goddamn. Like, I love, like the lyrics to Hate are really good, but yeah, I definitely would say, like, because those are only two I really know what the lyrics are about, and Unleash. But, man, Unleash lyrically, when I started understanding that lyrically, same thing. So that's why it's like, I guess I'm with Ryan. Like, those two songs I feel like really smart songs, how they were written and stuff. Not that Hate isn't. I like Hate. Hate's very forward, and I think you need that in the album. You need something more forward with the lyrics and stuff.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, it's right in your face. You know what they're talking about. Where Influencer and Unleash, man, you could take. Well, Unleash is pretty more, pretty much no, but you could take it many ways, and it's really cool. So I really enjoyed analyzing the lyrics to that. So that's probably something I'm going to start doing from now on. I just always forget about doing the lyrics, and I forget that me personally, I like music with good lyrics. And I don't know why I haven't really read lyrics on songs as much as I should be.
Yeah,
so
you did a really good job with that. And just to add to what you're saying, I think that's really cool. Like, you're saying maybe you weren't 100% on with Psyche's meaning with the lyrics, or whoever wrote the lyrics, but like at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. Music is always up to interpretation, because you're the one listening, you're the one experiencing it in the moment while you listen. So if it has a specific meaning to you while you listen to it, that's just as important,
Mm-hmm. I was about to say the same thing, where I just feel like, Alan, whatever your interpretation is, like, you can mold it to whatever is going to best suit your understanding of what she's saying, because not all of us are going to have the same experience. You look at a song like Hate, for example, also, where it's like, whatever she dealt with in that situation, we clearly did not deal with the exact same situation. You know what I mean? But we can relate to it and apply it to something that we have gone through. I fucking hate this person, not for the same reason that she does, but I fucking hate this person anyway.
I'm willing to bet that most songs are interpreted incorrectly by damn near everybody that listens to them, and that's okay. And the artists know that. I know that. I've had songs I've written that I know what I'm talking about, and some people hear it and they're like, "Oh, that helped me so much," and I'm like, "Cool, man." Like,
I'd rather not people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
What was that? Learning to Fly, like Foo Fighters. I saw an interview with Dave Grohl, and the interviewer was like, I think it was Kelly Clarkson was interviewing him, and she's like, "That helped me so much," and this and that. It's got such deep meaning. He's like, maybe I shouldn't tell you. She's like, why? He goes, because I was like literally learning to fly a plane. And that's what it was about. She's like, oh my God.
But I mean,
whatever you do, whatever it means for you.
But yeah, the meaning comes from like the general interpretation. It doesn't have to all come from the artist, because that's a lot for one person to give. But the meaning comes from the collection of everyone listening to it and forming this community around it that has their own thoughts and feelings,
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Oh, man, I was gonna go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
No, I just said right. Go ahead.
But so yeah, I'm really excited to check out more of the lyrics of the other songs more than anything. Like it's nice to like go to that, and then what I was gonna say, a reason why I'm like saying that's my favorite too. Also, I really resonate with the writing style of the song because of how the music goes with the lyrics, and that's how I write music. Like, I write the story has to be in my fingers first, if that makes sense. And not saying that's how they wrote that song, but it felt like all the music was specifically the mold around the lyrics also, and to make the lyrics have a greater impact with the notes and the chords and stuff that they picked up, like when they had the pauses of the song and like hey, like dance and like, oh, do something flashy, and then all of a sudden Konami solo. I'm like, that's perfect. I love it when they're like interacting that close, and where you could feel the story even without the lyrics there is like always my favorite style of writing. So yeah,
I agree with you. Like, I love great instrumentals, but I do personally believe that the greatest songs start with a story and lyrics, and then you write the music around it to really reinforce that. And I don't know. That's
I
just
guess it
my
depends
opinion.
on what you're going for with the song,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're trying to write, if you do want to deliver a message, generally it's probably better to create the message and then write the instruments to fit the message, right?
Yeah.
But I think there are also just songs that are like, I don't even give a shit about what the lyrics are. And I just like, I know that November Rain by Guns N' Roses is a really deep song, but I don't know what it's about. And I don't care because that fucking song takes me on a story every time.
Yeah.
And I'm creating that shit in my head. And by the time it ends, I'm
That
like,
song,
fuck, dude,
that
that is
song's still
amazing.
story without the lyrics,
Okay.
though. That's what's so cool.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
all that my last Stan EP was instrumental for a very long time. I knew exactly what the songs were about without the lyrics. So when the singer came in, I'm like, hey man, this is what the song's about. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, listen to the notes. And I would show them the notes. I'm like, yeah, this is going through this emotion right here. This is what I'm feeling. He's like, oh shit. And then bam, we started writing lyrics. He's like, yeah, I'm like, the lyrics are not verbal yet. They're not words. It's an infant. Can't speak the language yet. It's just in musical form first.
It's learning. Yeah, it's learning. It'll get there. One
Hasn't
day
learned
it'll
the lyrics
understand.
yet.
That's awesome.
And Alan's not exaggerating about this, by the way, guys, because he literally will write something, send it over into our Discord chat, and be like, "This is the story behind this guitar riff." We're like, "Damn, dude, okay, you got this."
Yeah.
It's gonna
I
be
was
interesting
like,
to see how when
You have a
his
full song written already, pretty much.
what do you need us for? But we'll see how much you get into the musical content, Alan, and then when you're gonna get into the lyrics, and it's just as fucking complicated, dude.
Well, something
Mickey was
that's
a
happened for me.
fantastic writer.
Something that's happened for me, like I remember when I realized that Miku wrote a majority of, I think all of the lyrics almost. I was like, didn't even realize that. And you guys know how much I love Miku, like this as a singer and just in general. I love her vocals in general. Then I found out she wrote all the lyrics. I was like, holy shit! Like when I
and they're not easy lyrics, man.
No, they're not.
I mean, translated, you got to have a really good translation, and even people that do the translations are like, it kind of doesn't make sense when you do that. But here's the idea, and she uses a lot of metaphorical things and a lot of double meanings stuff that somehow is a word in Japanese and it's also a word in English. She does that a lot. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes her to study and like understand.
Man,
I'd be curious about that.
Man, people were mentioning about the chit chat meant something else in Japanese. I'm like, holy fuck, are you serious? Like,
that's awesome.
Chit-chat. That's one of my favorite parts of that song.
Me too. Like when Miku's little sarcastic lines, like the way she sings them, like they feel sarcastic. Like it is awesome.
Yeah,
like the way that
I love how they're like honest and edgy too. They don't play it safe. Like they seriously speak their minds. I mean, look at how just raw and honest it is. They don't hold anything back.
I would. There's an interview I think we're going to talk about that has a very Psyche talks right about that song and the process of writing it. And I'd open it up here, but I think my computer would fucking freak out again.
For more Gaijin goodies like you just saw, be sure to subscribe to the Gaijin Guys podcast and turn on all notifications to be part of the live stream every Sunday. You can also find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, etc. You can find even more exclusive content and reactions on our Patreon, patreon.com/Gaijin Guys. I'll see you there. Adios.